Today, I'm presenting an e-learning solution that will help your yoga studio pivot to an online model. Obviously, with COVID-19, reaching clients online is more important than ever. The course that I'm proposing will introduce your instructors to Adobe Premiere Pro, which is a software tool that will help them record instructional videos that clients can view asynchronously or anytime that's convenient for them. The nice thing about Rush is that you don't need a lot of experience in video editing to make great videos. So it's a great introductory tool for professionals, especially yoga teachers, many of whom have never made an instructional video before. This course itself will be delivered asynchronously. Your instructors, or the learners in this course, would watch a series of short videos and then complete an assignment to apply what they've learned after each video. They'll also interact with other learners in a closed Facebook group administered by our company Facebook page. So all total, the videos would be about 5 minutes long each for a total of about 20 minutes total video time. And the Facebook group is an optional component. We realize that a lot of people have limited time, especially the professionals, but it's a nice conversational piece to add to this course. So by the end of the course, learners will be able to use Adobe Premier Rush to create an instructional video that guides clients through a short yoga flow. So let's take a quick look at the objectives, or the specific things learners will do as they progress toward that final goal. To start, they will identify the key editing features in Adobe Premier Rush. After that, they'll be able to describe the steps in creating a video. Next, they will use the editing tools to edit a few short video clips. Then they'll explain how transitions, titles, and voiceover can support the instructional goal of a video. Finally, they'll create their own 5 to 10 minute instructional video with original voiceover recorded in Adobe Premier Rush. This course will be designed using the Understanding by Design model developed by Jay McTighe and Grant Wiggins. I like to use this model specifically because it forces me as an instructional designer and you as a subject matter expert to think about learners' needs and objectives first, rather than focusing on what it is that we like to teach. It's really easy to start a course and think, what do I know and what's exciting and what do I want to tell people, which is fine to a degree, but we always want to start thinking about what do learners need to know. And this model helps us do that. So first, we start by identifying the ideal outcome. Basically here, we just mentally time travel into the future, and we try to describe what learners will know and be able to do at the end of the course. Once we've identified the outcome, then we decide how we'll measure whether learners are on track to reaching that goal or not. This will help us create our assessments, which will give us measurable and observable evidence of their learning. Now, of course, we hear assessments and we usually think like multiple choice quiz, right? But as we'll see in just a minute, there are a lot more effective and real-life applications we can use to gather evidence of learning. So finally, at the end of the process, this is where we choose the instructional activities that will help learners pass the assessments we identified in Stage 2 and reach the target goal in Stage 1. So as you can see, the nice thing about the Understanding by Design model is that it helps us make sure that our objectives, the end goals of the instruction, the assessments, and the teaching methods are all aligned. They're all pointing towards the same outcome. Let's look at each of these steps in a little bit more detail. So again, step 1, we determine the ideal outcome, but we want to break that down just a little bit more. We want to think about transfer, which is just a fancy way of saying how will learners use what they've learned outside the classroom in a real-life context. So in this case, for this course, we want our learners to be able to create their own instructional videos for a variety of purposes and contexts. We also want to think about meaning, which is basically the why of the course. What's the purpose, or why are we learning this? What's the point? And we can think about the meaning by identifying some key guiding questions. Like, for instance, how can we use technology to stay agile in the face of an unexpected change? That's one question that could guide this course. And finally, we want to think about acquisition, or the specific knowledge and skills that learners will get from the course. Now here I've listed just a few examples. Of course, for this particular course, there will be some more knowledge and skill points, but just for example, we want them to know how to edit video clips using the splitting and trimming tools, how to add titles and transitions. For a specific skill, we would want them to have the skill of knowing how to choose the correct tool to accomplish a desired end. So there are some examples. So next, we need to think about the kinds of evidence we'll gather to determine if learners are on track to reaching the learning goal we identified in step 1. The ultimate proof of learning is whether learners can actually create their own instructional video using Adobe Premier Rush. This will be the culminating activity that learners will submit at the end of the course for a grade. We also have some other forms of evidence, often called formative assessments, that we can gather in the assignments leading up to that culminating assignment. So these can include things like naming key editing features, listing the steps in the editing process, and the like. So these other types of evidence will help us determine if learners are on track to creating their own video. And it also gives them some feedback to help them test their own understanding and maybe do a little course correction so that by the end of the course they are able and confident and totally ready to make their video. Based on the goal and assessments outlined in the first 2 steps, we'll choose the instructional activities that will help learners acquire the skills and knowledge they need to know to create their own video. So, since our learners are busy professionals, the course content will be delivered in a series of short YouTube videos that will take a total of 20 minutes combined to view. And these will be primarily screen shares, so they will see step-by-step instructions on how to create their own video in Adobe Premier Rush. Again, we also have the optional guided discussions in the Facebook groups. Again, these are optional, but these are a great way to share ideas, ask questions, and share resources as they're completing their video. Finally, we'll also provide some examples of some well-developed instructional videos that they can use as they create their own video. Thank you for listening to my proposal today. If you would like a custom version of this course made specifically for your yoga studio, please contact me directly and we can talk about some next steps. So thank you again, and I hope you have a great day.